morning, year one. It's Monday of week 5. Today is the first day I'm trialing a new small video to introduce the English. So there will be 3 tasks each morning, and this way you can go through the tasks with me, press pause when you need to, and then when you start the next task, it might help you. If you would rather just go ahead and get mum and dad to read it, that's okay too. This is just a different way of giving you a chance to maybe follow me as we go through. So the first task we'll be doing will be a book review on a story that you read last week on Sunshine Classics. So I'll just quickly press pause and I'll get you ready to do this task with me. Okay, hopefully everybody has learned how to log on to Sunshine Classics for now. And I have gone with Mr. Brody, so thank you, Louis. Here is a selection of Louis's reading books that he will read this week and the ones that he read last week. Now, I'm going to pick one that I know he read last week, Lucy's Rooster. And it's a good idea to go back and read that story again if this is the one you're going to choose. So let's pretend that you're in Louis's group and you have picked Lucy's Rooster. You will read through that again. Once you've read the story that you've picked, you're going to do a book review. If you are a wombat or a wallaby, once you have chosen your book, you're going to do this book review today. Book review A, and mum and dad will download that for you. You'll get to put your name, the date, and the title of the book. How do you feel about this book? This is probably a page where you can say you really didn't like it, it was okay, or you did. And then underneath you'll have a section for you to draw your favourite part. So wombats and wallabies, that is your first task today once you've picked your book of Sunshine Classics. So pause that now before you start your next activity. If you are a dingo or a seal, this is the template that your mum and dad will have downloaded for you. So you pick your favourite story from last week on Sunshine Classics and you're going to have a go at doing this one. So you will see here that you have the title of the book and the author, and you too are going to be asked to draw a favourite part from your story. But you have to also include an answer. Why? Why did you think that page was your favourite? Or why was this part the most interesting to you? Try and use as many words as you can. And once you finish that, you'll be ready to go on to the next task this morning. If you are a koala, a penguin, or an echidna, this will be your book review that you're going to do on your favourite Sunshine book from last week. So you've got the title and author. You get to choose whether or not your book is fiction or non-fiction. Remember that fiction means it is made up and non-fiction means that it's true. What is this book about? Now you can use some words there. An illustration from the book. So in this part here, you're drawing a picture of something from the story. Over here on this section, it says, who would you recommend the book to? Maybe you recommend it to a friend, your teacher, a parent, maybe your brother or sister, and why? You get to give it a rating out of 5 stars, and then this one's a tricky one. What ages and interests in this book, or is this book suitable for? So is this book suitable for someone who likes bugs, if it's about the ladybugs? Or is it a book that's going to be for telling jokes because it's a funny story? So this is going to be your task to submit today, whether you're an A, a B, or a C in terms of the book review. So this is for your reading task this morning. And if you're still with me after the break, it will be because you're talking about handwriting. Otherwise, you can go on with your day without watching this. The next task this morning is handwriting, and you will be remembering what this book looks like unless you're an Ethan or a Hayden. So it's very hard for me to say which page you're up to because I know everybody's up to different ones. But let's just say, for example, that you are up to page 20 and you're looking at the letter O. The main thing for Miss O'Dempsey is that you are making sure that you actually trace the letters the way that the book's asking, that you also have a go, and that you write underneath. Now, for each letter, there are 2 pages. So let's say that this is the page you've picked. I'm going to ask you to do both pages today, please. Your very best writing. The last task for us to do this morning is to do some writing. You've had your brain food, you've done your book review and some beautiful handwriting, but now it's time to write a recount. We've been writing a recount pretty much all term. It's something that you might not remember, but if I go through this, I'm sure it will come back to you. This is all the different parts of a recount. The first one is the title, and your title today is going to be on Mother's Day. You celebrated Mother's Day with your mum yesterday or your nan, and you're going to write your title Mother's Day. All right, so once you've written your title Mother's Day, the next part is to talk about where you were, who you were with, what you were doing, where were you, and why. And this poster goes through that. So these are what we've been talking about in class. If you can talk about that in your mind or share it with mum and dad, that's going to then tell you what you did. All right, and then you're going to be able to put that in order. So have a look at Miss O'Dempsey's for a moment and we'll go from there. Who did you actually spend Mother's Day with? I spent Mother's Day with my family. So you might put something like that for your first sentence. Where were you? Well, I was at my home in the kitchen. What was I doing? I was making Mum feel special. So far we've talked about who we were with, where we were, and why we were. Okay, the next part is, what did you do? So who, where, I made her a cake and gave her my card. Maybe that's something that you can talk about in yours. Or did you make her breakfast? What did you do? We have to talk about why as well. I suppose up the top there it says that you were spending Mother's Day, but why? The family was celebrating Mother's Day because I love my mum. So why were you doing such a special thing for her? So Miss O'Dempsey was typing it to show you, but if we go back to our poster, do we have who we were with? Do we have when? Well, Mother's Day. What we were doing? Where? Yes, I was in my kitchen. And why? The events were in order. And we have an ending. And I think there was also a personal opinion because at the end I wrote, because I love my mum. So your last task this morning is to do a recount all about your Mother's Day. If you get stuck, maybe go back and watch this video again so that you can see what you have to do.